All right, welcome everyone. So today for Coffee Chats, we are going to be talking about bad body image days and what to do when you have them. So first, if you haven't been to Coffee Chats before, hello, my name is Amber Abila, and if you're watching this on replay, I have Coffee Chats, which are my free weekly training every week on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And we're going to go through a free training on what to do when you have a bad body image day and open it up for discussion too. If there's anything that you need coaching on or have any thoughts around this. So first, with body image days, what we mean by this is having a day where we are struggling good about ourselves, having a time where we just feel like insecure, not very confident. We don't really like the way our body looks. We're trying on all of our clothes and we just feel like nothing is working how we want it to work. Now, when we say we're having a bad body image day, what this means is we are perceiving our body in a way that feels good. Now, notice this word perceiving. It doesn't actually mean that our body necessarily is looking differently that day. It's the way that we are choosing to view our body. So it's the lens that we are looking at our body through that is creating these negative feelings for us. Our body does not actually change that much day to day or even month to month. Year to year, sure, maybe. But when we are looking at our body one day and we don't feel good about it, it's not necessarily because we gained 5 pounds overnight. Sometimes we maybe are a little bit bloated, but the truth is, we usually don't look that different. It's just that our thoughts about our body have changed that day. So recognizing that is important, that it's not necessarily that our body looks absolutely horrible that day. It's our mindset around our body. So I'd first just like to open it up for discussion to see if anyone wants to talk about a time that they've had a bad body image day, what that was like, maybe what triggered it, and their experience when they went through their day not feeling great about their body. So you can feel free to unmute or put in the chat what this experience has been like for you. And while I'm waiting for anyone to unmute or put it in the chat, there are a lot of triggers for bad body image days. It can be stepping on the scale. It could be trying on some clothes, either while you're shopping or at home. It could be a comment someone said. It can be if you overate or binge the night before, the day before. If there's a lot of social pressures, you're going to a big event. Those can all be pressures that can lead to a bad body image day if we let them. The events themselves aren't necessarily going to cause our thoughts, but sometimes they can be triggers for thoughts, and it's important to be aware of those so we can look out for them. For me, it usually around my time of month, around my cycle, when I get more bloated, that usually tends to lead to more negative body thoughts just because I forget sometimes that our bodies change around that time of month and that we get bloated. So maybe that's a time of month for you too, where it's a little bit harder because your body does change a little bit, just because of various hormonal processes at play that are changing your level of bloat and sometimes a little more puffiness, not because you gained weight, but just because our body is doing things that it needs to be doing. So I'm not seeing anything in the chat right now, but continue to put it in. If I see anyone, oh, it's not just one day in particular. I don't like my body most days. Okay, so with that, if you feel like, oh my gosh, just every day I wake up, I don't like my body when I look in the mirror, I want you to actively look out for the times where you're either not thinking about your body or you accept your body. We don't have to have necessarily moments where we're looking in the mirror and saying, I love my body. It's amazing. Like, I think it's perfect. But there are probably some moments that you can find where you accept your body, where you are appreciating it for the things it can do. Or you try on a new outfit one day and you're like, I kind of like this outfit on me. I think looks really cute. You want to look for those moments to show yourself it's not that you hate your body all the time. There are times where maybe it's harder to see the things that you love about yourself, but there's also times where maybe it feels a little easier or you're appreciating that your body can move for you, or you're appreciating that your body helps you digest food, that it keeps you alive, that it's doing things to help you stay healthy. I think the coolest thing our body does is when we get a cut and it just like instantly starts to heal it. Like, how cool is that? That you cut something. I got like, you can barely see it. It's a little thing on my finger, but I cut my finger on the door the other day and it just instantly the blood stops. Our brain and body know to send cells to it to heal it up. And then the next day, it's like already healing. It's formed new skin, it patches over, and then our skin completely heals. It's an organ that mends itself back together. And when we have these moments of appreciation for our body, we can kind of see how, I don't hate my body all the time. Like, look how cool that my finger is just doing this all on its own. So it's important to know that bad body image days happen to everyone. No matter who you are, if you live in our modern society today, we unfortunately have a lot of societal conditioning around our bodies. And so even when you've done a lot of body image work, like I have, or even when you go through my Confident Eater program, where we do a lot of in-depth work around our body image and we do a lot of healing and we do feel so much better. I teach a whole lesson on confidence and body image. Even after all of this, even if you are a body image expert, there are still going to be times where you're not going to feel 110% 24/7. When we can accept that, we can have these days come up without letting them affect us so much. So if right now you have bad body image days and it just ruins everything for you, where you don't want to go out with friends, you start binge eating, you just totally shut down, you feel horrible about yourself, you start to spiral in your other habits, that's the part we want to change. But we're not going to change the fact that we're never going to have a bad body image day again. It's changing how we react to those days and letting ourselves still enjoy our day, still enjoy our life, still fuel and nourish ourselves without overdoing it or underdoing it. So that way, when these days happen, they're just no big deal. It's just something we can navigate through, which is how they are for me now. This weekend, I wasn't having a great body image time, but I just let those feelings be there. They didn't really affect how I showed up this weekend or how I treated myself. Now, I want you to remember that whatever thoughts you're getting, that they are temporary. Whatever these feelings are, they will pass. They are not there all the time. And I promise you will not feel this way about your body forever. Like I mentioned, there are times where you do love your body or you do accept it or you just don't really think about it so much. You'll start doing something else and those feelings just kind of go away. Feelings are something that are always temporary. Our feelings ebb and flow, they come and go. They are not going to be there forever. Just because you're having thoughts about your body doesn't mean those thoughts are true. So just because you think your body doesn't look good today does not mean everyone in the world is thinking your body doesn't look good today. Just because you think, I don't like my arms, doesn't mean it's true that your arms are bad or they don't look good or they're unworthy. It's just a thought that you're having. And we can look at our thoughts from this neutral, objective perspective of, oh, this is just something I am thinking. This is not the truth of how things are. It's starting to question your thoughts. So when you say, I'm so fat, no one loves me, I don't like how I look, no one's gonna like how I look either, asking yourself, is that true? And do you absolutely know for 100% certain it's true? So I would love if you feel comfortable, again, either unmuting or putting in the chat, if you have any thoughts that come up frequently around your body and what those thoughts are so you can identify them and then we can start to question them and get out of them. What are your common body thoughts? We can start to see how they're true or not true. To most of them, I can take a guess that most of the body thoughts we have are not going to be true. So, however you feel in your body today, whatever thoughts come up around your body, those thoughts are really irrelevant to so many things in your life. And you can even label these thoughts. Like this thought is irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. Now, a lot of times we have these thoughts because we think that they're helping us. We think that beating ourselves up is going to help us change and lose weight and get healthier. But if we look at our reality of what happens when we have these thoughts, it's usually the opposite, where we want to crawl in bed and do nothing all day and eat and just try to make ourselves feel better. So, the way to get healthy and to change is not by beating ourselves up and telling ourselves these negative thoughts, but by encouraging ourselves and telling ourselves loving, kind thoughts. So, no matter how you're perceiving your body today, it really is irrelevant to how lovable you are, how worthy you are, how beautiful you are, how much you have to offer the world. It is not really connected to any of those things at all because being lovable and worthy is inherent to who you are as a human being. That does not change no matter what you do or don't do. You can't change your worth as a human being. And this is something I fully believe 100% is that all humans are 100% born worthy, and there's nothing we can do to change that. No matter what we do or don't do in this world, we are still worthy because we are human, because we are living, because we are alive on this planet. And I'd highly encourage you to adopt this belief as well, because our beliefs are something that can change. Our beliefs are not permanent. There have been things that you believed in the past that you probably don't believe anymore. Or there used to be things that you didn't believe that you now believe. You didn't always dislike your body. There was a time when we were young and little and we just didn't really think about our body that much. Or we loved our body. Or I always love when little kids stick out their stomach and they think their belly is so cool and they have a competition of who can make their belly the biggest. Like that is our natural state of being. Our natural state of being is not hating our body. It's being fascinated with our body. It's being so interested in our body and thinking, wow, our bodies are the coolest. That's how we think about our bodies as little kids. And it isn't until we start picking up the societal conditioning that we start to believe something different. But we don't have to believe everything we're taught. We can make an effort to start to change what we're thinking and how we're believing now as adults, now that we can choose how we want to think in our life. Now, I want you to remember that no one is ever thinking about your body as much as you are. Okay, I want you to think about the people in your life. And how much of your day do you spend thinking about other people's bodies? It is probably never, or like you glance at them, have a thought, and then it like disappears. Like it's like 0.1 seconds. Yeah, never. So other people are not looking at our bodies that much, and other people are not noticing things like we do. We look at our bodies and we say, oh my gosh, I think I'm a little more bloated today. I think I'm a little more puffy. This is a huge deal. And then we go into this big spiral of our thoughts. I want you to see how often of your day you notice, oh, that person was more puffy than they were yesterday. Oh, that person is like this much more bloated than they were yesterday. We don't have those thoughts about other people, yet we're judging ourselves so harshly for them. So it's kind of comforting to know that people just don't really care about our bodies that much. People are not noticing the things we notice. And people know what our bodies look like. Like the people in your life, they have an idea of what your weight and shape is. Um, Meaning they're not actively thinking about it. They're just kind of like, oh, this person bodies just exist. They just don't make a big deal out of it like we do with ourselves. So reminding yourself that however you feel about your body, no one else is feeling that way about it. And if people do have thoughts about your body, that means so much more about them and their perceptions and belief than it does about you. And if we are having thoughts about other people's bodies, that's also probably because we are insecure around ourselves and our body. We have thoughts around our bodies, and that's why we are projecting them onto other people. Projection is a huge thing. So if you think, well, I do kind of think about other people's bodies some, then that's because you are societally conditioned to think about bodies and you're thinking about your body a lot too. So if we choose to stop thinking about our body so much, we really stop imagining that other people are judging us all the time because we know they really aren't. Remembering all of the amazing things your body does for you too and allows you to do, really finding this place of appreciation for it. Just like I talked about my finger healing itself, or the way your body can allow you to run, or even just being here today. Like you guys are all alive. Like, how cool is that? We all woke up this morning. We all got another day on this earth, and not everyone gets that. Not everyone wakes up every day with two legs and two arms and a head attached. And we did. Like, how awesome is that? And we don't give ourselves enough appreciation for that. Thinking about how much you would miss if you didn't have your legs, how hard it would be to live without arms or fingers, and what those body parts allow you to do every day, and how much hate we give them when really all they are trying to do is keep us healthy, alive, and well every single day. Our body's always constantly trying to serve us. Our innate being is health. We have hundreds of thousands of mini processes in our body that are working every single day to do everything it can to keep us healthy, and appreciating that. Now, finally, what I love to do when you're just trying to feel a little bit better, because it doesn't always feel good to not have good body image days. I like to do anything to shift out of it. So, the quickest way to shift an emotion in our body is through movement. So, whether that's going for a walk, listening to music and kind of bopping around, doing some bigger dance moves, doing a full workout, doing these things from a place of love, like never working out because you want to hate your body and you're trying to change it, but just so you can start to feel a little better about yourself, just so you can start to excuse me, just so you can start to change out of that emotional state a bit and start to recognize the beauty of the life you have. Like, I every time I step outside, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, everything's okay." The sun is shining, it's a beautiful day, there's fresh air, and sometimes just having that little moment is enough to shift you out of, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror or trying on clothes. So you want to spend these days taking really loving actions to yourself, really being super duper kind to yourself, nourishing your body. So not letting these times go into, no eating for me today, no more food to me for me, because that will just lead you to binging more or overeating more. So feeling bad about your body does not mean you need less fuel to nourish yourself today. Just because you don't feel 100% confident doesn't all of a sudden mean your baseline calories that you need to survive is going down as a human. Okay, you still need to give yourself nourishment and fuel and energy. So making sure you're doing that and knowing that nourishing your body properly with the right amount of food is an act of self-care. That is something we can do to show ourselves that we matter and that we're important. Now, on the other side of this is making sure that we don't overeat, because sometimes if we're having bad body image days, that can be a trigger for wanting to overeat because we're trying to make ourselves feel better. And that's recognizing that overeating never makes us feel better and always makes us feel worse. It's just going to take us deeper down into the cycle of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not feeling happy about ourselves. And so we want to pause there and shift into 100% kindness and love. If an overeat does happen, still shifting into that kindness and love, not letting yourself go down to that spiral of beating yourself up, because the more we can show up for ourselves in this loving way, the more we're going to get through these bad body image days peacefully and taking actions that we actually want to be taking that are truly helpful for us in our journey to confident eating. So making sure you're speaking softly to yourself, kindly to yourself, just like you would a best friend. If a best friend came up to you and said, I'm just having a really hard day today. My clothes aren't really fitting right, and I just don't feel like I look good in anything, and I'm just worried that I gained weight. What would you say to them then? Would you say, "Yeah, you have gained weight. You're looking pretty fat today." No, but that's what we're saying to ourselves. So instead, we want to say something like, "Oh my gosh, like I totally get that. Some days it's just hard. Let's see what else we can find for you to wear. Maybe I'll give you something to wear. I'll offer something up, knowing that you're beautiful, you're worthy. We're gonna have a great time at our party tonight." Like that's what your friend's going to say to you, and that's what you want to start saying to yourself as well. All right, so that is my lesson today and my teaching on our body image and what to do when we have these body image days in my Confident Eater program. This is a 6-month program to help you stop binge eating and overeating by rewiring your brain. Like I mentioned, we have an entire lesson on how to be confident no matter what. So no matter what your body size is, no matter what you feel like that day, how to continue to be confident So I currently have spots open for private coaching with me. I'm going to put the link in the chat. The website is theconfidenteater.org, and you can find a link to book a free consultation call with me to learn more about how we can transform your body image and your relationship with food. All right, so now we'll go into anyone have any questions or thoughts or anything that's resonated with them today, either related to this topic or what they're working on outside of this topic on body image. If you can find something that you're taking with you into the week ahead that you want to remember, something you want to tell yourself, kind words and encouragement. Always trying to work on talking to myself better. Yeah, yeah, I know that's one of your goals, and I love that you're working on this. Again, thinking about how you talk to a friend or a child, someone you love, right? And starting to talk to ourselves like someone we love. If you had a child that was having a bad body image day, maybe they're saying, I just don't really like any of my clothes today. I'm just not really feeling so good about myself. I don't really like my hair today. I think that's probably more common. I feel like children don't have too many bad body image days until they are socialized a bit more. But they might have a bad hair day. I just don't like my hair today. I can't fix it. It's not doing the right things. But tell them that's okay. We all have bad hair days. Like, it doesn't really mean anything about you. It's okay to feel a little sad if your hair is not looking how you want it to be, but just know you can still go have fun with your friends on the playground. You can still have an amazing day, and we'll do what we can to fix it. But otherwise, you're lovable, you're worthy, everything can be okay, even if your hair doesn't look great today. All right, well, we'll wrap up for today then. Thank you all for joining. We'll have coffee chats again next Tuesday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, same time. The Zoom link is the same Zoom link, so you can save the Zoom link. Otherwise, I send out that 1 hour email reminder so you can hop on. So I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your week. You're so welcome, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.